Here's something that a lot of people care about that I just don't worry about. Websites tracking my online activity. And there's a mild rush of guilt that comes from even saying that because I feel like I should care more about it than I do, you know? Not just because so many other people care about it, but because it touches on very important issues like privacy and the way capitalism compulsively commodifies everything, including our choices and behavior. To be clear, when I say that I don't worry about it, I'm only speaking for myself and my own activities. I get why people care about it in a broader sense, and I absolutely support websites and social media platforms giving users the ability to opt out of having their activity tracked and saved and sold off to advertisers or whoever. It would be better if that kind of tracking was something you had to opt into instead of opt out of, but I doubt that will ever be the standard. And truthfully, when I visit a website for the first time and that pop-up appears that asks if I want to allow cookies, I usually click Don't Accept. Given the choice, I'll go with the Don't Track Me option. But is it something I'm concerned about for myself? No. In fact, and I feel really shitty about this, you know how you'll be browsing online and you'll see an ad that seems uncannily appropriate for you in that moment? Like it's for a product related to something you were just searching about or posting about? Creepy, right? It knows. But also, I think that's kind of cool. I know. I feel like such a sucker when it happens. I'll be scrolling through Instagram or something, and an ad will come up for something related to a thing I was just posting about, and I'll go, oh, hey! And the thought that comes right after that is, look at what a perfect little consumer you are. I bet they wish all the marks were as easy as you. Go on, just turn your money over to them. What do you need it for anyway? And I hardly ever click the ad and buy the thing. It's almost never something I actually want or could use. But sometimes it is, and sometimes I do. I got an external microphone that I use when I record videos using my phone, for instance. It works great. I found it through a Facebook ad. That's one example. I know there's a trade-off for that, loss of privacy, ceding even more control over our online experiences to corporations who care about nothing other than wringing as many dollars out of us as possible. And like I said, I do think those larger concerns are valid and important, but for me, personally, I'm just not that bothered by targeted ads. You know what I am bothered by, though? When I get ads for products that I already bought, not products that I just bought that day. I get that it might take some time for whatever system is operating to start showing me different ads. If I just bought something that was in the ads it was showing me, I'm willing to show the ad server some grace. It's fine. I'm just that kind of guy. Not that. And not products that I do have to purchase again occasionally. That annoys me a little bit too, but mostly because I find it insulting. I keep track of my shit, okay? I get a notification that says, it's been this long since you bought paper towels. Would you like to order some more? Thanks, big brother, but I've got it under control. I'll let you know. Maybe it's not the exact same thing as a targeted ad, but it's not that different either. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about getting ads days or weeks or months later for shit I already bought. One-time kind of shit that I'm not going to need to replace, at least not so soon, and that I'm not going to need multiples of. And it's shit that I bought through the ad. How has the mighty algorithm failed so abjectly? It doesn't just fail me, the prospective customer, by showing me an ad for something it should know I don't need. It fails the company that paid for the ad. I just bought the thing you're advertising to me. I'm not going to buy it again. I'm a guaranteed non-sale. Again, I ask, how? How is it that the system knows to show me ads for Dusty Rhodes t-shirts because I liked a YouTube video of one of his classic promos, but it doesn't know not to keep showing me the ads for stuff I just bought from it? I got the shirt, okay? You sold me the shirt. Now leave me at peace. You would think that actually clicking the ad and buying the thing would be an even more certain guarantee of never seeing that ad again than clicking the dots in the upper corner of the ad and choosing "Don't show me this ad again" from that little drop-down menu. You know, the preference placebo? You click "Don't show me this ad again," and you assume you've flipped a switch somewhere to keep that ad from being shown to you. But you're definitely going to be seeing that ad again, because really all you've done is push an off button connected to nothing. Because these systems were apparently designed by people who read Kurt Vonnegut, but missed the point. If it was honest, when you clicked on "Don't show me this ad again," instead of saying "We'll update your ad preferences," it would say, "Okay." And there would be a voice saying it out loud so you could hear the tone and understand that it's not "okay," as in "I'll get right on that." It's "okay," as in "I'm politely telling you to fuck off." There's even an option on that menu to report why you don't want to see the ad again. And one of the choices is already purchased. Why is that there? Shouldn't it know whether I've already purchased it or not? A human salesperson would know that. If I'm walking past the sunglasses kiosk in the mall and the person working there says, "Hey man, want to buy some sunglasses?" and I buy the sunglasses, and then half an hour later I'm on my way out of the mall and I walk past the same salesperson again and I'm wearing the sunglasses I just bought from them, they're not going to say, "Hey man, want to buy some sunglasses?" again. They're going to say, "Wow, you must really like those sunglasses, huh?" And I'm going to say, "Yeah." And they're going to say, "Uh-huh, I can tell because you're wearing them indoors like a dork or a douchebag." And I'll say, "Whoa, that's insulting." And they'll say, "Which one?" And I'll say, "What?" And they'll say, "Which one are you? A dork or a douchebag?" And I'll say, "How do you know I'm either one? Maybe I'm wearing these sunglasses indoors because I have light sensitivity." And they'll say, "Then why weren't you wearing sunglasses when you walked past the sunglasses kiosk the first time before I sold you those sunglasses?" And I'll say, "I've got to go." And they'll say, "That's fine, go ahead. I'd run away too if I were in your position." And I'll say, "Oh, and what position is that?" And they'll say, "The position of a person who's just been called by the name he tries to hide from the world." And I'll say, "What name is that?" And they'll say, "Apparently it's either dork or douchebag. I'm not sure which. That's why I was asking you." And I'll say, "I really do have to go. I have an appointment I'm going to be late for if I don't leave right now." And they'll say, "Okay." But they're not going to try to sell me the same thing they just sold me. That would be the real insult.